Never a good sign when they're looking over the side of the cliff. Shit. Good morning, everybody. It is a beautiful day here in Southern California, and I am ready to show you something really, really special. Let's go and see. You saw that last night, and right after I got done shooting my V-Rod video, my 690 showed up. This is a KTM 690 SMCR. SMCR is the supermoto version of the bike. KTM makes 3 different 690s, I believe. There's the 690 Duke, the 690 Enduro, and the 690 SMCR. The Enduro and the SMCR are more or less the same bike, except for different suspension, different tires, and different brakes. And there may be a couple extra other differences. And this bike is also the same exact bike as the Husqvarna 701 Supermoto. So pretty much both of them are the same. This is a 2020 version, which is the same as the 2019. There was a very recent rebate on the 2020, which I closed on very quick. Called the dealer in Santa Rosa, which was the only one that had one in California. And I worked at the deal over the phone, wired him the money, and the bike got here last night. Pretty late, so I haven't had a chance to ride it. It's only got 1 mile on it right now, and that was the mile that the dealership put on there to kind of go through the testing, you know, before they let me have the bike, essentially. Let's see. If you don't know anything about supermotos or about this bike specifically, welcome to the club. I don't know much either. I know it's a single cylinder 693cc motor. Supermotos are kind of this cult type bike that got created through a TV program way back in the day, and they kind of became a jack of all trades type of bike. So if you were to think of it like an apocalypse bike, it would probably be the supermoto. You climb mountains with it, or buildings, and do track and mountain and whatever it is that you're going to do. This bike should be able to do it, partly because it's essentially a dirt bike with street wheels and tires and brakes. This bike has a lot of cool electronic gadgetry in it. So it's got like cornering ABS and cornering traction control, and 2 different maps. You can turn traction control off and on. You can mess around with the ABS a bit. And then also it has a quick shifter and an auto blipper, so you can shift up and down without using the clutch. All of those things are super cool, but I haven't really gotten to ride the bike yet. So you're going to do that with me today. I have ridden one other 690 before, and that was a couple weeks ago, just for a few minutes. And I am super excited because that one didn't actually ride that well. There was a problem with the clutch, so it wasn't shifting all that well. I'm really hoping this one's shifting better. I don't have any mods planned. I know a lot of guys go right away and change the pipes and change the intake and put in a power commander and all that stuff. I've had some mixed reviews on doing all of that. I've had a lot of guys also tell me that they did all of that shit and it didn't make much of a difference at all. And you know, the bike actually sounds pretty good for me anyway. I'm more than happy with kind of the way the exhaust sounds right now. Of course, I would like to have it sound better, but yeah, so it sounds okay. One big complaint everybody has about this bike, which I do too, is that's what you get for a gauge cluster. So there is nothing there. It tells you nothing, essentially. It just tells you how fast you're going and how many miles you've gone. And I think it also tells you the time of the day. Very special. But realistically, if you're riding by feel, you probably won't need that. It would be really cool to have a gear indicator. Yeah, let's see. I've been looking for this bike for about 5 months, I want to say. I've just had my eye out for this or the Husqvarna 701. I didn't really care much which one I get, but I was definitely partial to the KTM because I have my 390 and I love that thing. I love the color orange, and so does my boy. So we were just kind of like both kind of hoping for the KTM, and yeah, I got here. And I also really like the color scheme of the 2020. Now, I might put a graphics kit on it soon, actually, because even though I don't really want to do any performance mods just yet, I kind of want to really get good at riding this bike first. This is a very different style of riding that I'm used to, as you know. So I want to get good at riding the bike first, and then it's kind of a weird texture on the swing arm here. Almost looks like it was scratched up, but that's obviously the texture of it. Yeah. So anyway, let's get on her and see how she does. Okay, let's do this. First ride ever on my new 690. Wow, that is a very tall seating position. Holy cow. Okay, so I'm going to do a mini quick little ride here around the block. This is what I call my personal track. Oh gosh, that quick shifter feels so nice. Oh, that's so nice. Oh man, that's awesome. So I rode another one of these a week ago, and I had some issues, and I was a little worried that they all have that issue, but this one does not. Of course, it's a brand new bike. Look at that, 1.4 miles. It's such a nice day out. I always forget to cancel my signals, and you guys give me a lot of shit for it, so I think I'm supposed to sit a little further back. I don't know. Man, this is like learning how to ride all over again. It's such a high riding position. That's pretty crazy. I'm guessing the dirt guys that get into this they probably have an easier time. Seems to have ample power. Of course, I'm not going to try to push it today. And wow, yeah, definitely a very different riding position that I'm used to compared to all my street bikes. So this shows that I'm in mode 2, which is weird because I thought mode 1 is the default mode. I don't know. You guys will tell me all about that, I'm sure. Not sure what gear I'm in. Okay, that's first. I do most of my riding in second gear in this little loop on my other bikes, and this seems like I gotta go back and forth between first and second and third a lot so far. Well, I haven't been to third yet. First and second. Alright, let's find out how good it does in U-turns. Fine. Yeah, being very high off the ground helps with that for sure. A little jerky. I'm taking it pretty easy because I really, these are brand new tires too. They haven't really had a chance to get sticky yet. Wow. definitely have a lot of learning to do on this bike. It smells like something's burning. I wonder if they got rid of all the plastic. There's some plastic burning smell. That's probably just the body panels touching. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. Ooh. Ooh. Nice and hot. Alright, so we're on the highway, heading down to Ortega, and it is a beautiful day out. So this is my first time, again, obviously on the highway with this bike, and no problem getting up to speed, no problem maintaining a pretty high speed, very stable, no shakiness, no rumble. That's a pleasant surprise. Obviously, no wind protection whatsoever, and there's a little bit of wind, and I'm battling it for sure. So it kind of makes me appreciate even a tiny little windscreen. So I might add something, at some point to this bike. But yeah, I'm going 75 right now. There was a cop back there, so I slowed down a little bit. But yeah, I hit like 88. Really just had no problem getting there. And actually, I think I want to say I was in third gear when I hit 70. And then I'm definitely, I can go down a couple of gears here. That's the thing, not having a gear indicator really sucks. So there's 80 miles an hour, and I'm perfectly, stable on the freeway. And keep in mind, this is a dirt bike with street tires, so that's pretty good. And, not too much noise, which is, again, I like that. I do feel these bumps quite a bit. We're in Ortega Canyon. A lot of traffic today, unfortunately. I'm going to see if I can get us past some of it, but I also, this is not the most powerful bike. Can't get out of shit that quickly. But let's talk about the ride down here. Like I said, the freeway stuff was super nice, really, really great. One thing, these mirrors suck, kind of. They don't vibrate that much, which is nice. Visibility is okay. They're super ugly, and quality of this rubber crap is pretty low. It's already started to crack. I mean, day one down here, I've got a little tear. 37 miles on the bike, so it's hard to make these judgments. But the mirrors, I could see why people replace these. It is nice though. I mean, they do give good visibility, and they don't vibrate that much. On freeway speeds, you do get that like super high frequency vibration, so like things are just distorted. But at lower speeds, it's no vibration at all. Let's see, pick up and go. Without knowing what gear you're in, and I'm kind of still getting used to it, it's really hard to just like brap and get up and go. And I haven't been brave enough to give it the beans in like first and second gear, because I really don't want to get surprised by front wheel coming up just yet. I am getting used to this really high riding position though. I think it's kind of cool. I can see over all the cars. That's pretty nice, even past some SUVs. So that's pretty good. I do like the sound of the bike. I mean, I don't know if I want it to be any louder than this, actually, honestly. We're about to get into some more twisty stuff, so hopefully I can find a way around some of these cars.
One eternity later.
So there is some really weird stuff with the clutch. So when you use the quick shifter, if you try to go back to use the clutch, I'm noticing some really weird behavior from the clutch. So like it just sinks right in. So like the clutch doesn't grab right after I've used the power, the speed shift. Maybe you guys know about that. You can tell me about it. It's like sometimes the clutch just falls right in. I have a bad feeling that there's something wrong with the clutch, And I know a lot of people have complained about the clutch. I think they replaced the slave cylinder on this bike pretty much right away. So let's see, is it nimble? It's pretty nimble. Cool. Yeah, so that, I don't know if you guys caught that, but that guy was patting his helmet a bit, meaning there's a cop nearby. These Harley guys won't do me that fucking favor. Our Ortega doesn't really twist that much. It's really kind of mild stuff out here. But this feels like, you know, it's very comfortable in the lean. And in fact, I'm like oversteering it a bit, usually. So, yeah, I keep having to come back because I'm used to leaning a lot more on other bikes. Some bikes anyway. My 390 is like set up perfectly for this type of riding, and even a more aggressive riding, because you can throw that thing around so easily. There we go. I'm not going to push too hard. Brand new tires, but suffice it to say, it's very nimble. Gosh, yeah, that's awesome. Different riding position, man. I gotta say, I mean, it's gonna get some getting used to. I am planning to put a lot of miles on this bike in the next, you know, in the summer anyway. But in the next 6 months, you know, I feel like the speed shifter and the blipper on this bike, I don't think it's necessary. You know, I feel like that was the one thing they could have probably skipped out on and maybe give me a better gauge up here, and then maybe a better seat. Yeah, that's my opinion, man. Because I feel like you know, this isn't a bike. You're not trying to race to 100 with this bike all the time. You might do it once in a while, but it's you're gonna carve with it. You're gonna climb with it. You're gonna do some bumpy stuff with it. But I think a speed shifter and a blipper kind of belongs really on a sports bike. I gotta stand up for a second here. So we're about 50 miles in. It hasn't been quite an hour, I don't think. And yeah, my butt's starting to get a little sore. Little, not like terrible. I do need a little bit of a stretch. Beautiful day, guys, down here in on Ortega Highway. That's Lake Elsinore down there. So let's see, how did the bike do coming up here? Definitely a different riding style for me. Really, actually, I'm very satisfied with how much power it has. I was a little worried because everybody just modifies the hell out of these bikes to get more power out of them, and it made me think that maybe it's just like super low on power, but it isn't. There's definitely some going on with the clutch, as I mentioned earlier. So sometimes it just goes all the way down, and it's usually right after I quick shift. So let's say a quick shift, but then right afterwards, or maybe maybe a second or two after I go for the clutch. It's not there. So I don't know if that's the slave cylinder issue or what, but we'll figure it out. Otherwise, though, did quite well on the freeway, nice and stable. In the twisties, beautifully like nimble and quick, and managed to stay upright the whole time. So that's always good. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I'm gonna kind of end it here and give you some more footage maybe of the rest of the highway. But yeah, very happy to be part of this 690 SMCR community here. Thanks for watching. See you next time. See that shit? That shit just came flying off the back of that truck. Holy cow. It's never a good sign when they're looking over the side of the cliff. Shit.